radio crackles. Static, soft and constant, the sound of an empty world still pretending to be alive. I barely notice it anymore. It's just part of the background now, blending with the low hum of the ventilation system, the occasional drip of condensation in the corner. White noise. Until it isn't. This is an emergency broadcast from the National Alert System. If you can hear this, remain indoors. Avoid open spaces. Do not respond to unfamiliar voices. Stay silent. Stay safe. The voice is flat, automated, repeating over and over. I don't know how long it's been playing. Days probably, maybe weeks. Time doesn't work right down here. Then the message cuts out. Silence. I lift my head. Morgan, slumped in the opposite corner of the bunker, looks up too. We stare at the radio, waiting. A new voice comes through. Andrew. Morgan stiffens. My stomach tightens. The voice is wrong. Too smooth, too even, like someone trying to sound human and missing by a fraction. Andrew. Are you there? Andrew doesn't answer. He's sitting against the far wall, knees drawn up to his chest, his face buried in his arms. Morgan and I exchange a glance. Neither of us speak. Andrew, it's okay. You can answer me. It sounds different now. Softer. Like someone familiar, someone we might trust. Like Andrew's mother. Morgan curses under her breath. Stands up, kicks Andrew lightly in the shin. Hey! No response. The voice on the radio shifts again, taking on a different tone, a different rhythm. I know you're scared, but you don't have to be. It's safe now. Come outside. Andrew lifts his head just a little. His face is pale, streaked with old dust and sweat. His lips part. I lunge forward and clamp a hand over his mouth. His body goes rigid beneath my grip. His breath comes in quick, panic bursts. Morgan turns the radio off. Static sputters, then vanishes. The silence feels heavier than the noise. We stay like that for a long time, Andrew trembling under my hand. Morgan staring at the dead radio like it might bite her. My own pulse pounding in my ears. Finally, I let go. Andrew doesn't speak. He just presses his hands to his face, shoulders shaking. No one says anything. There's nothing to say. The rules have been clear from the beginning. If you hear your name on the radio, do not respond. But now we know something else. It isn't just saying names. It's listening. We found the bunker 2 weeks ago. Maybe 3. Hard to tell anymore. Days and nights blur together underground. There used to be more of us. 6 at the start. Then 5, after Jess went topside to check for supplies and never came back. Then 4, after Miguel stopped talking. Just sat in the corner, staring at the radio, listening to the static until his lips started moving. Silent, barely forming words. And then he was gone. Not dead. Not missing. Just gone. No one saw him leave. No doors opened. No airlock cycles. Just one moment he was there, and the next, there was nothing left but his shoes. Now it's just the 3 of us. And the radio. Morgan keeps watch while I sleep. Or at least, I think she does. My dreams are thin and restless, stitched together from half-heard sounds and distant memories. When I wake up, she's still sitting by the radio, arms crossed, jaw tight. It's getting worse, she mutters, not looking at me. I rub my face, trying to shake off the exhaustion. Yeah, Andrew is asleep, or pretending to be. He hasn't spoken since last night. I don't blame him. Morgan taps her fingers against the radio casing. I don't think it's a recording. I glance at her. What? She turns the volume knob, just a fraction. Static floods the bunker, a soft, rushing hiss. I think it's live. The thought makes my stomach twist. How do you know? She doesn't answer right away. Just stares at the radio, lips pressed into a thin line. Then she says, it knew his mother's voice. Neither of us say what we're thinking. Miguel's voice had started whispering just before he vanished, too. The static shifts. Just a little. A ripple, like something just beyond hearing. Morgan turns the radio off again. We try to distract ourselves. Routine is important. Keeps us from thinking too much. We take turns checking the food supply, cycling the air vents, making sure the emergency lights still have power. It's busy work, but it helps. For a little while at least. Then Andrew speaks. They're still out there. Morgan and I freeze. It's the first thing he's said in over 24 hours. He's sitting cross-legged on the floor, staring at the wall. His voice is quiet, hoarse. What do you mean? I ask. He doesn't blink. The people. The ones who answer. A cold chill creeps up my spine. Morgan exhales through her nose. That's not possible. Andrew finally looks at us. His eyes are bloodshot, dark hollows beneath them. I heard them. Morgan shakes her head. No, you heard something pretending to be them. Andrew doesn't answer. He just rubs his arms like he's cold. The silence stretches. Heavy. Uncomfortable. Then, from the corner of the room, the radio turns itself on. Static at first. Then the hum of an open frequency. Then, Morgan. Her entire body goes rigid. The voice is soft. Familiar. Morgan, it's me. She stares at the radio, hands clenched into fists. Her face is unreadable. The voice continues. It's okay. You can talk to me. Andrew presses his hands over his ears. I reach out, slow, careful, and unplug the radio. The voice cuts out instantly. The silence rushes in. Morgan exhales, shuddering. Andrew doesn't move. I meet Morgan's eyes. No words. No plan. Just a shared understanding. We are not alone down here. And something is waiting for us to answer. Andrew won't stop shaking. He sits on the cold concrete, arms wrapped around himself, eyes locked on the radio. It's unplugged, lifeless. Doesn't matter. He's still listening. Morgan paces. Small, tight circles. The only sound is the soft scuff of her boots against the floor. I sit between them, watching both. None of us speak. The radio stays silent. For now. I keep expecting Morgan to say something. She always has something to say. Even when Jess went topside and never came back, even when Miguel disappeared, she had a plan. But not now. Now she just walks in circles, eyes flicking to the radio every few minutes. Andrew doesn't move at all. And I keep thinking about what he said. They're still out there. The ones who answered. The ones who disappeared. I don't believe it. I don't want to. But when the emergency alert first started, it was just names. Then it became voices. Now it's learning. Now it's calling people in ways they can't ignore. It's waiting for us to speak. Hours pass. Maybe a full day. None of us mention food or water. The silence stretches. Then softly, Andrew. Morgan and I snap to attention. Andrew goes perfectly still. The voice is different this time. Not his mother. Not a stranger. Jess. Andrew swallows hard. His whole body trembles. Andrew, are you there? Morgan takes a step forward. Don't. Andrew's hands clench against his knees. His breath comes fast, uneven. It's okay, the voice says. I got out. The radiation wasn't as bad as we thought. I found a place. It's safe. Lies. It has to be. But Andrew doesn't see it that way. His lips part. The smallest sound escapes him. I lunge. Morgan does too. We slam into him, knocking him to the ground. He lets out a startled yelp, then claps both hands over his mouth, eyes wide in horror. Silence. Morgan and I hold him down, breathing hard. The radio crackles. Then quietly, I heard that. The three of us freeze. The voice shifts. Jess's tone dissolves, morphs into something softer, more familiar. Andrew, it says, why are you hiding? It's his mother's voice again. Morgan moves first. She grabs the radio, yanks the power cord. Nothing happens. The radio stays on. Static crawls through the speakers. Andrew twists beneath us, gasping for air. His eyes dart between us, wild and desperate. He wants to answer. He wants to believe. I press my hand over his mouth again. Morgan slams the radio against the wall. It doesn't break. The voice keeps speaking. It's okay. You can talk to me. I miss you. The words are slow, gentle. Morgan slams the radio again, harder. You're not alone, sweetheart. Andrew sobs. I squeeze my eyes shut, grip him tighter. The radio hisses, then. Silence. No more voices. Morgan lets out a breath. Her hands are shaking. Andrew goes limp beneath me. For a long time, none of us move. Then I pull my hand away, and Andrew is gone. Not dead. Not missing. Gone. No weight in my arms. No body beneath my grip. Just empty space. And his clothes still warm. Morgan lets out a curse. Scrambles backward. I stay where I am. Andrew's jacket is crumpled, his shirt twisted. The weight of his body was here just seconds ago. The warmth of him lingers, fading. He didn't move. He didn't make a sound. But he's gone. Morgan is shaking. No, she mutters. No, no, no. I can't speak. I can barely breathe. We didn't hear a door open. No footsteps. Just an instant, a heartbeat. Then nothing. Morgan presses her back against the wall. Runs both hands through her hair. We had him. We had him. Her voice is hoarse, raw. He didn't go anywhere. He was right there. He was. She stops. Sucks in a sharp breath. Clenches her jaw. Doesn't finish the thought. Doesn't need to. We both know. Whatever took him, it didn't need to wait for him to answer. I stare at his empty clothes. This isn't like Jess. She went outside. She made a mistake. This isn't like Miguel. He whispered back. Andrew didn't speak. But he wanted to. Was that enough? Did it? No. Morgan pushes herself to her feet, pacing fast, erratic. Okay, we shut off the radios, She stops short, squeezes her eyes shut. It didn't matter. The radio wasn't plugged in when it called her name last time. There's no stopping it. I know she knows. She's just trying to outrun the thought. I don't bother. I sit against the wall, staring at the spot where Andrew used to be. If it can take people who don't answer, that means we don't even need to speak. It's just a matter of time. Morgan snaps after 3 hours. She grabs the radio, slams it against the wall until the casing cracks. She rips the wires free, pulls the dials off, grits her teeth, and breaks it apart with her bare hands. Then she drops the shattered remains and walks away. I don't stop her. It won't make a difference. I wake up to silence. The first thing I notice is the cold. The second is that the static is gone. Not just from the broken radio. From everything. No hum of air vents. No distant drip of condensation. No sound of Morgan shifting in her sleep. Silence. I sit up. Morgan is standing at the entrance, staring at the door. I open my mouth, but she lifts a hand. She gestures. Listen. I do. And in the silence, I hear something. A voice. Not from a speaker. Not from a radio. From outside. Muffled. Distant. It's Andrew. Calling our names. Morgan turns to me, slow, deliberate. Her face is blank. Not confused. Not scared. Just resigned. Because we know. Andrew is gone. But something else is still speaking for him. And it's getting closer. The bunker is silent. No static. No hum of the vents. No soft creaks from settling concrete. Just stillness. And outside, Andrew's voice. It's quiet at first. Distant. Muffled, like someone calling from the far end of a long tunnel. Morgan doesn't move. I don't either. We just listen. Morgan. Her breath catches. Ethan. My name now. A slow, creeping chill settles in my gut. Morgan turns to me, her expression blank. No fear. No anger. Just the same resignation I felt when Andrew vanished. We both know. It isn't him. I move first, forcing myself to stand. My legs feel numb, half dead from sitting too long. Morgan doesn't look at me. Her eyes stay on the door. I swallow hard. It's not him. She doesn't answer. The voice outside shifts. Ethan. It's safe now. I flinch. Morgan's jaw clenches. No, it isn't. The voice is closer now. Just outside the hatch. Let me in. The air in the bunker feels thinner. Heavier. I want to speak. I want to say something, anything. We know it's not you. We know you're dead. You can't be here. But I don't. Because that's what it wants. Morgan steps back from the door. Slowly. Carefully. I follow. We move toward the farthest wall, putting as much distance between us and it as possible. Andrew's voice, its voice, doesn't stop. Please. It sounds more human than the radio ever did. Almost real. Almost. We wait. Minutes pass. Maybe hours. The voice fades, replaced by silence. Neither of us move. The air is thick with unspoken words. Then finally, Morgan speaks. We can't stay here. Her voice is hoarse. Tired. I don't argue. She's right. The bunker was safe once. But we're running out of food, running out of air, and now it knows we're here. We pack quickly. There isn't much to bring. Some canned food. Water. The last of the medical supplies. Morgan keeps glancing at the door. She's expecting something. I feel it too. Like we're being watched. Like something knows. The emergency lights flicker. The low, red glow pulses against the walls, casting long shadows. Morgan mutters a curse under her breath. I shoulder my pack, glancing at her. You sure about this? She nods. Neither of us say what we're both thinking. That leaving might be worse than staying. But staying means waiting. And waiting means dying. The airlock is the hardest part. We both hesitate. Beyond this door, there's no coming back. Morgan presses her hand against the manual override. Her fingers hover over the lever. She takes a slow breath. Then she pulls. The door groans. The seal hisses. The stale air inside the bunker rushes outward, mixing with something colder, thinner. Then, darkness. The emergency lights barely reach past the threshold. Beyond the door, there's nothing. No moon, no stars. Just black. Morgan takes the first step. I follow. The air outside smells wrong. Metallic. Stagnant. The Geiger counter in my bag clicks softly. Radiation. But not enough to kill us. Not yet. The bunker disappears behind us, swallowed by shadow. I don't look back. Neither does Morgan. The city is dead. Buildings loom like hollowed-out corpses, their windows black, their walls covered in grime. The streets are empty. No bodies. No bones. No sign that anyone was ever here at all. Just absence. Morgan grips her knife tightly. It's not much. It won't help. I keep my ears open, listening for, I don't know, something, anything. But there's nothing. Just silence. And the feeling that we are not alone. We move fast. Stick to the shadows. We don't talk. The radio towers in the distance are still standing. A miracle. Maybe there's power. Maybe we can send a message. Or maybe that's exactly what it wants. We reach an old gas station before dawn. The roof is partially collapsed, but the walls are intact. Good enough. Morgan checks the aisles. Most of the shelves are empty, ransacked long ago. She pauses at the counter, staring at something. I step closer. A radio. Not plugged in. No batteries. But it's on. And it's waiting. The static hums, soft and low. Morgan's hands tighten into fists. She doesn't touch it. Neither do I. We turn away. As we do, the static shifts. And a voice. Soft, familiar. Morgan. We run. We don't stop until we reach an old apartment building. We climb the stairs. Floor after floor. By the time we reach the top, my legs are screaming. My chest burns. Morgan pushes open a door. The rooftop. We stumble out into the open air. The city stretches beneath us, endless and dark. Morgan pulls out a flare. Lights it. The red glow bathes the rooftop in flickering light. A signal. A warning. Maybe both. She doesn't say anything. Neither do I. We just stand there, breathing hard, watching the light burn. The radio towers loom in the distance. A goal. A risk. A trap. We don't know. But we have to try. The silence stretches. Then softly. Ethan. Not from a radio. Not from a speaker. From behind us. Morgan and I freeze. The flare burns lower. The voice speaks again. I found you. The flare goes out. Darkness. The flare dies. The world swallows us in black. My pulse slams against my ribs. Morgan stands rigid beside me, fists clenched. The rooftop feels too open, too exposed. And behind us, the voice. Ethan. Soft. Familiar. Wrong. I don't turn around. Morgan doesn't either. We know better. The air is too still. No wind. No distant hum of the city. Everything is waiting. The thing behind us shifts. Slow. Deliberate. Not footsteps. Not quite. Something closer to weight shifting in the dark. Morgan grips my arm. Just a brief press of her fingers. A warning. A message. We move together. Slow. Careful. The edge of the rooftop is 20 feet ahead. A fire escape ladder hangs down the side of the building. Not far, but far enough. Ethan, the voice says again. I flinch. It's not my mother's voice. Not my father's. It's my own. Speaking back at me. Mocking. Morgan exhales, low and steady. I can't see her face, but I don't need to. I know what she's thinking. It's getting bolder. We take another step. The thing behind us shifts again. Then, wait. The word slithers between us. Close. Too close. Like breath against the back of my neck. My muscles lock. Morgan tenses beside me. The voice chuckles. A dry, humorless sound. You don't have to run. We don't answer. Don't stop moving. The fire escape is 15 feet away. The thing moves. A flicker of something at the edge of my vision. Not a person. Not a shadow. A shape that doesn't belong. I keep my eyes forward. Keep walking. Where are you going? The voice asks. It sounds amused. Like it already knows. Like it's just playing. 10 feet. Morgan reaches into her bag. Pulls something out. A glass bottle. A lighter. I don't question it. I keep walking. 5 feet. Morgan flicks the lighter. A small flame dances to life. Morgan, the voice hums. She doesn't react. I don't either. She lights the cloth in the bottle's neck. Holds it steady. 3 feet. The thing behind us shifts. Faster now. Impatient. We run. Morgan hurls the burning bottle behind us. It shatters. Glass and flame explode across the rooftop. A screech, not human, not animal, something hollow and furious, rips through the air. We don't stop to look. We reach the fire escape. Morgan goes first, swinging her legs over, gripping the rusted metal rungs. I follow. The rooftop above us is chaos. Shadows writhe against the firelight, twisting and curling. A shape looms at the edge of the flames. No face, no eyes, but watching, always watching. Morgan drops the last few feet to the ground. I do the same. We hit the pavement hard, stumble, catch ourselves. Then we run. The city is a graveyard. Empty streets, hollow buildings, no signs of life. Only the low hum of Geiger clicks from the counter in my bag. Morgan keeps pace beside me. Her breath is ragged, uneven. We don't speak. We just move. Faster. Farther. Away. The radio tower looms in the distance. A black silhouette against the pale glow of the sky. It's tall, sturdy, a remnant of the old world. Maybe still active. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. It's a goal, a direction, something to reach before we're caught. We slow near an abandoned overpass. Morgan gestures for me to stop. We press against the side of a rusted truck. Listen. Nothing. She exhales, lowers her head. I do the same. We're both shaking. Morgan wipes a hand down her face. It's getting worse. I nod. She looks at me. You heard it, right? Your own voice. I swallow. Yeah. She doesn't say anything for a moment. Then, it's learning. The first emergency alert was just names. Then voices. Then memories. Now it's something else entirely. I rub a hand over my face. We need to know what's causing it. Morgan shakes her head. Does it matter? I don't know. But I want to. Maybe it's radiation sickness. Maybe it's a signal corruption, some kind of rogue transmission looping in an empty world. Maybe it's something worse. Something waiting for us to understand before it makes its final move. Morgan sighs. Come on. We can't stay here. She pushes off the truck, starts walking. I follow. The city watches. And somewhere in the distance, a radio crackles to life. The first voice is unintelligible. Just static and garbled syllables. Then, Ethan. Morgan. We stop cold. The voice isn't calling from a speaker. It's coming from all around us. The buildings. The streets. The empty sky. A chorus of broken voices. Speaking. Repeating. Mimicking. Ethan. Morgan. Wait. Where are you going? Morgan grips my wrist. I barely notice. Because the voices are getting closer. Closing in. And the last thing they say. We see you. The city breathes. Not with wind. Not with life. With voices. Morgan and I stand frozen in the middle of the road. The pavement cracked beneath our feet. The buildings stretching high above us like rotting monoliths. The voices are everywhere. Ethan. Morgan. Soft. Familiar. Wrong. They echo through shattered windows. Vibrate through rusted street signs. Creep through the air like whispers in an empty church. And they are closing in. Morgan squeezes my wrist once. A silent order. Move. We don't hesitate. We run. Our footsteps slam against the pavement, boots scraping over loose gravel and debris. The voices do not fade. They follow. We see you. We weave between cars, ducking low, keeping to the shadows where we can. A burnt-out bus leans against a collapsed storefront ahead. Smoke-stained glass, metal twisted like melted wax. Morgan grabs my arm, pulls me toward it. We slip inside. The smell of old fire and rust fills my nose. Morgan crouches low, peering through the shattered windshield. Her breathing is steady, controlled. Mine isn't. The voices spill down the street, twisting through alleyways, moving like fog. Where are you going? My stomach knots. Morgan reaches into her bag, pulls out a knife. A small one. The kind that won't do anything against this. But she grips it anyway. I don't tell her it's useless. We both need something to hold on to. Minutes pass. Maybe more. The voices shift. Not calling us anymore. Speaking to each other. The words are half-formed. Stretched, mangled syllables. Like a language trying to exist but failing. Like a conversation missing its meaning. Morgan's fingers tighten around the knife. My heart hammers. Something is wrong. Then, a sound. Not voices. Not whispers. Something moving. A scraping noise echoes outside the bus, like nails dragging against concrete. Morgan looks at me. I don't breathe. The sound comes again. Closer this time. Scrape. Pause. Scrape. Slow. Deliberate. Morgan shifts her weight, gripping the seat in front of her. I inch forward, just enough to peer through the bus's open door. The street is empty, but I can feel it. Something is watching. Not just from one place. From everywhere. The air inside the bus thickens. Morgan exhales slowly. Mouths a word. Run. I nod. We move. We slip out the back of the bus, keeping low, keeping quiet. The street ahead stretches long and empty, the radio tower still distant against the horizon. We move quickly. Not running. Not yet. But close. Every step feels like walking on thin ice. The city hums. The voices murmur. And then, a light flickers. A single neon sign, hanging from a store up ahead. Buzzing. Glowing. Morgan stops beside me. Neither of us speak. Because the store is wrong. The windows are clean. The shelves inside fully stocked. Bright and untouched. As if the world never ended here. But we know it did. Morgan moves first. She doesn't go inside. She just steps close, peers through the glass. I do the same. The store looks normal. But that's what makes it horrifying. Nothing in this city is normal. Not anymore. Morgan's hand hovers near her knife. I scan the aisles, my stomach twisting. Everything is too perfect. No dust. No signs of decay. Like something is keeping it this way. Then I notice the radio. A small one, sitting on the front counter. On. Waiting. Morgan notices it too. We both take a step back. Then, the speakers crackle, and a new voice speaks. One we haven't heard before. You are not supposed to be here. The air shifts. Not wind. Something deeper. Like the city itself is holding its breath. Morgan grabs my arm. We run. The voices do not follow this time. But the feeling does. Like something is just behind us. Just out of sight. Not chasing. Not yet. Just watching. We keep moving. Block after block. The tower grows closer. The city grows quieter. Too quiet. Morgan slows. I do too. We listen. Nothing. Not the distant hum of static. Not the shifting chorus of voices. Just silence. The worst sound of all. The ground is slick. At first, I think it's water. Then I smell it. Coppery. Stale. Blood. Morgan sees it too. It pools in the cracks of the sidewalk, trailing toward a building up ahead. The door hangs open. Something moved inside. Recently. Morgan doesn't hesitate. She steps closer. I should stop her. But I don't. Because we need to know. The lobby is dimly lit. Dust floating in the air. Blood smears the tile floor. Something was dragged. Morgan kneels. Presses her fingers against a dark stain. Still wet. Recent. I swallow hard. Something shifts above us. A slow, deliberate creak of wood under weight. Morgan and I both look up. A staircase leads into the dark. Neither of us want to go up there. But we know we will. Because the tower is close. Because we have no choice. Because something is waiting. Morgan moves first. I follow. The stairs groan under our weight. At the top, a hallway stretches before us. The blood trail vanishes under a door. Morgan presses her ear against it. I watch the darkness at the end of the hall. It feels like it's watching back. Morgan gestures. 3, 2, 1. She pushes the door open. We step inside and freeze. Because the room isn't empty. It's full of radios. Hundreds of them. Lining the walls. Stacked on the floor. And every single one of them turns on. At the same time, a flood of voices pour out. All of them speaking. All of them saying the same thing. We see you. The door slams shut behind us. And then, the lights go out. The lights die. Total black. Then, the radios hiss. 100 voices layered on top of each other, all speaking at once. Too garbled to understand. Too loud to ignore. Morgan grips my wrist. A steadying anchor in the dark. I swallow my breath. Try to focus. The voices shift. Distort. Then, Ethan. Morgan. Clear. Direct. Every single radio speaking in unison. The hair on my arms rises. Morgan exhales. Not fear. Frustration. She fumbles in her bag, pulls out her flashlight. Click. A weak beam of light cuts through the dark. It barely reaches the walls. Because the walls aren't walls anymore. They're shifting. Moving. The radios press forward. Stacked haphazardly. Tangled in wires. like ribs forming a rib cage, like we're standing inside something's chest, something alive. Morgan takes a slow step back. I do the same. Wait. A single voice. Different this time. Lower. Calm. Certain. Not mocking. Not playful. It doesn't need to be. Because it already knows. Knows we won't leave. Not yet. Not ever. Morgan's flashlight flickers. Static crawls through the air, raising goosebumps along my arms. She tightens her grip on the light. Her other hand inches toward the knife strapped to her belt. A useless gesture. I think we both know that now. The voice speaks again. You don't understand yet. I don't answer. Morgan doesn't either. The radios click, adjust their tuning. A new sound filters in. Not voices. A recording. Muffled. Garbled. Then, a scream. Choked. Wet. Someone dying. I step back. My heel scrapes against something metal. A radio topples over. The voices laugh. Morgan's breathing is shallow. I know what she's thinking. We've heard these alerts for weeks. Seen the names, the patterns. But we never heard this. Never heard what happens after. The scream cuts off. Silence. Then, you will. Morgan moves first. She spins toward the door. Grabs the handle. It doesn't move. Locked. Of course. She curses under her breath. I shine my own flashlight, scanning the room. The radios twitch. Their dials turn. Their screens flicker. Morgan kicks the door. Once. Twice. The wood splinters but doesn't give. Then, one of the radios shifts. Slides toward us. By itself. I freeze. Morgan sees it too. The dial twists. A burst of static. Then, a voice. But not just any voice. My voice. Don't. Morgan grabs my arm. We need to go. Now. I nod. We back toward the window. The voices whisper. The radios hum. Morgan grips her flashlight like a weapon. Then, she smashes it against the glass. The window cracks. Not enough. Morgan swings again. The glass screams. Not the shatter of impact. A real scream. Alive. The whole building shudders. I grab Morgan's arm, yank her back. The walls are breathing. The radios flicker faster. The whispers rise. I can't tell if it's the voices or the building itself. Morgan's chest heaves. She looks at me. We're trapped. The door swings open. By itself. The hallway beyond is dark. Empty. A trap. We know that. But we step through anyway. Because staying isn't an option. Not anymore. The stairwell yawns before us. Deep. Hollow. The steps spiral downward, disappearing into black. Morgan hesitates. So do I. We shouldn't go down. But the building wants us to. And I think something else does too. We don't have a choice. We start walking. The air grows thick. Each step feels heavier, like we're descending into something deeper than the city. Deeper than the world. Morgan doesn't speak. Neither do I. But we both feel it. The weight pressing against us. Something waiting. Then, a sound. Not voices. Not static. Something breathing. Right below us. Morgan stops. I do too. We listen. The breathing slows. Deliberate. Like it knows we're here. Like it's waiting for us to come closer. I grip the stair railing. Morgan glances at me. A silent question. Do we keep going? I don't know. But I think. No. We don't. We turn. Start moving back up. Fast. Too fast. The stairs groan beneath our weight. Morgan grips my wrist, pulling me faster. The air tightens. Then, the sound changes. Not breathing anymore. Something else. A voice. My voice. Whispering right into my ear. You shouldn't have done that. I stumble. Catch myself against the wall. Morgan pulls me up. I don't tell her what I heard. I don't have to. She already knows. The radios were just the beginning. Now it's in our heads. We reach the top of the stairwell. The door is open. It wasn't before. Morgan doesn't stop to question it. She barrels through. I follow. The moment we're inside, the door slams shut behind us. The whole building shudders. Like it's disappointed. Morgan and I don't look back. We run. Outside, the air feels wrong. The city is still quiet. But it's not empty. We can feel it now. Pressing against us from all sides. Watching. Waiting. Morgan slows. I do too. We turn. Look back at the building we just left. The windows are dark. Empty. Then, a radio clicks on. A single voice hums through the static. Not yet. Morgan grips my wrist. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't have to, because we both know. It's not over. Not even close. And the tower, the thing we thought was our salvation, is still waiting. The air feels heavier now, like the city knows what we've seen, knows we tried to leave, and knows we failed. Morgan grips my wrist, pulling me forward. Her pace is steady, controlled, but I can feel the tension in her fingers, the way she keeps looking back at the building. We both heard it. Not yet. A warning, or a promise. Either way, it means one thing. We're not done. Not yet. The tower looms in the distance, closer than before. It shouldn't be. We haven't moved fast enough. But the city bends, shifts, and I think it wants us there now. Morgan doesn't say anything. She just keeps walking. I follow. The streets are empty. No voices, no whispers, no movement. But I can feel them. In the buildings, behind the windows, beneath the streets. Waiting, watching, listening. Morgan pulls the radio from her bag. The one we found at the checkpoint. The one that still works. She clicks it on. Silence. Then, a single sound. Faint. A heartbeat. Thump thump. Thump thump. Slow. Rhythmic. Morgan frowns. Adjusts the frequency. The sound doesn't change. It stays. Like it's following us. No. Like it's inside us. She clicks it off. Doesn't say a word. Just keeps moving. I do too. Because what else is there to do? The tower looms closer. Steel and rust. A skeleton rising from the center of the city. The top is lost in fog. I don't know how tall it is. I don't think it has a height. Just keeps going. Like it touches something above. Something we aren't supposed to see. Morgan stops at the base. Looks up. Doesn't speak. Then, the door creaks open. On its own. A silent invitation. Or a trap. But we knew that already. Morgan glances at me. Then she steps inside. The air shifts immediately. Colder. Thicker. Like stepping into something breathing. The walls hum. Not from wind. Not from machinery. From something else. Morgan scans the room. Old monitors line the walls. Rusted dials. Dead screens. A control center. But it doesn't look abandoned. Not entirely. A chair sits in front of a console. Not pushed back. Not forgotten. Like someone was just here. Watching. Waiting. Morgan exhales. Then she moves. She approaches the console. Dust coats the buttons, but the screens, they flicker. Faint static dances across the glass. Like they're trying to show something. Morgan presses a button. Nothing happens. Another. Still nothing. Then, one of the screens changes. A camera feed. The city. Not as it is now. As it was before. People walking. Cars moving. Life. Morgan stiffens. The feed shifts. Faster. Days passing in seconds. Then, the streets empty. Buildings decay. Shadows stretch. The city dies. And then, something moves. Not people. Not animals. Something else. Crawling from the dark. Filling the streets. Taking the empty spaces left behind. Morgan clenches her jaw. The screen flickers again. Now, it's us. Standing here. Watching. Morgan reaches for the monitor. The radio crackles. Then, why did you come here? Not the layered voices from before. Not the thing mocking us. This voice is different. Softer. Sadder. Morgan grips the radio. Doesn't answer. The voice continues. You weren't supposed to hear. Morgan presses the button. Her voice is steady. What is this? A long pause. Then, a mistake. The static swallows the voice. Morgan shakes her head. We don't have time for riddles. She scans the room. There, a stairwell, leading up. Of course, because there's always more, always higher. She looks at me. I nod. We move. The stairs creak beneath us. The air thickens. The humming walls pulse. I don't count the steps. I don't think they end. But then, a door. Rusted. Heavy. Morgan reaches for the handle. Pauses. Then, opens it. A room. Empty. Except for the chair. The console. And the radio. Still on. Still waiting. Morgan steps inside. I follow. The radio crackles. Do you want to know? Morgan doesn't answer. But we're here. So we already have. The static grows. The city hums. And then, the voice speaks one last time. It was never calling you. Silence. I swallow. Morgan grips the table. The radio flickers. The voice is gone. But the message stays. It was never calling you. Then who? Morgan exhales. She doesn't ask. Because I think we already know. And the worst part, so do they. And they're still listening. The air in the tower is wrong. We're too high up. Too far from the city. Yet, it feels closer than ever. Morgan grips the edge of the console. The radio hums in front of her, the words still hanging in the air. It was never calling you. Her breathing is steady, but I can feel the tension in her shoulders. She's thinking, processing, trying to piece together what we already know. I take a step toward the console. The monitor flickers, static, then darkness. No more images. No more warnings. Just waiting. Morgan clicks the radio again. Dead silence. Then, a breath. Not static. Not a voice. Just breathing. Like something is still on the other end. Morgan clicks it off. Turns to me. Her face is unreadable. She gestures toward the stairs. We keep moving. The next level is worse. Narrower. The walls closer, pressing in. The floor vibrates under our steps, a low hum rattling through my bones. Morgan doesn't stop. Neither do I. The only way out is up. Another door. We push through. Inside. Radios. Dozens. Maybe hundreds. Stacked along the walls. Different models. Different eras. Some ancient. Some new. All turned on. All silent. Waiting. Morgan exhales. I take a step forward, careful not to disturb anything. The air is thick. Charged. Like stepping into the eye of a storm. Then, the radios click. One by one. Dials turning on their own. No voices. No names. Just tuning. Searching. I reach for one of them. Morgan grabs my wrist. Shakes her head. I don't argue. The radios keep turning. Frequencies shifting. Tuning into something we can't hear. Or something we shouldn't. Morgan takes a breath. Steps back. Then, a single radio crackles. A new voice. But not like before. Not mocking. Not layered. This one is flat. Distant. Like it's coming from somewhere far away. Or somewhere that doesn't exist anymore. The signal is open. I swallow. Morgan doesn't move. The voice continues. Do you hear it? The radios hiss. Morgan grips the knife at her belt. Not that it'll help. Not against this. She speaks. What signal? The radios flicker. You already know. Morgan clenches her jaw. She doesn't argue. Because maybe it's right. Maybe we do know. And that's the worst part. The city changed. The broadcast started. The warnings. The disappearances. And now, we're here. Standing at the source. And I think it's been waiting for us. The voice speaks again. You are not alone. Morgan exhales through her nose. Her grip on the knife tightens. I don't think she even realizes it. I take a slow step back. The radios shift. Not just the dials now. The entire room. The walls press inward. Closing. Like they're listening. Like they're breathing. Morgan moves first. She steps toward the next stairwell. Doesn't hesitate. I follow. Because what else is there to do? The next level is empty. No radios. No consoles. Just walls. Concrete. Cold. Unfinished. A place that shouldn't exist inside the tower. Morgan pauses. I do too. The air is wrong. Heavy. Charged. Then, a sound. Not static. Not voices. A low hum. Mechanical. A pulse running through the floor. Morgan looks up. I do too. The ceiling. There's no ceiling. Just blackness stretching upward. Infinite. Wrong. Morgan exhales. She doesn't speak. Doesn't need to. We keep walking. The hum grows louder. I don't know how far we've gone. The walls pulse. Something waits ahead. Something we can't see. Yet. Then. A doorway. Not a door. Just an opening in the concrete. Morgan hesitates. Then. She steps through. A control room. Bigger than the last. At the center. A radio. Alone. Old. The kind with dials and knobs. It hums. Waiting. Morgan walks forward. Slow. Careful. She looks at me. Then. She turns the dial. Static. Then. A voice. But not like before. Not distant. Not layered. This one is familiar. This one is hers. Morgan. She stiffens. Doesn't answer. The voice continues. Morgan, can you hear me? It sounds just like her. But it isn't. I know that. So does she. Her fingers hover over the dial. Then, where are you? Morgan swallows. Her lips part. I shake my head. Don't answer. Not this. Not now. The voice repeats. Morgan, where are you? She exhales. Then, she turns the radio off. Silence. The hum fades. The room feels smaller, colder. Morgan steps back, turns toward the stairwell. Doesn't speak. Neither do I. But we both know. Something is close now. Something knows we're here. And the tower. It's leading us somewhere. Somewhere we can't turn back from. We climb. Higher. The air thins. The tower hums. And above us, something waits. The climb is endless. Each step, the air grows thinner. The sound of the city below fades. Only the hum remains. Deep. Subtle. Like something breathing beneath the floor. Morgan leads, her posture stiff. Determined. She doesn't look back. I follow. Because I don't think I have a choice anymore. The stairwell ends abruptly. A door stands in front of us. Metal. Rusted. Like it's been here longer than the city itself. Morgan doesn't hesitate. She presses a hand against it. Flinches. I see it in her shoulders. The slight twitch of her fingers. The door is cold. Wrong. She exhales. Then pushes it open. A room. Small. Circular. No windows. No exits. Only the radios. Lining the walls. Floor to ceiling. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. All turned on. But silent. Morgan steps forward. The floor vibrates beneath us. Like a heartbeat. Like something aware. In the center of the room. A chair. And in front of it, a radio. Old. Ancient. Its dial flickers. Waiting. Morgan stares at it. Doesn't move. Doesn't speak. Then, the radios click. One by one. A wave of movement through the room. Like something waking up. Like something noticing us. Morgan swallows. Then, a voice. Sit. Not a question. A command. Morgan doesn't react. She glances at me. Then, she steps forward. Slow. Controlled. She lowers herself into the chair. The radios shift. Not just the dials now. The entire room. The walls tighten. Like the space itself is closing in. Morgan places a hand on the radio. Her fingers hover over the dial. She doesn't turn it. Not yet. The voice speaks again. You've come far. Morgan's lips press into a thin line. She doesn't respond. The voice continues. Do you understand? Silence. Then, Morgan exhales. Finally speaks. No. The voice hums. Not static. Not layered. Just waiting. Morgan adjusts her grip. Her knuckles pale. Then, you will. The radio clicks. A new frequency. And then, the city speaks. Not voices. Not words. Just sound. Low. Constant. A signal beneath all things. Beneath the streets. Beneath the buildings. Beneath us. It's not a message. Not anymore. It's something deeper. Older. Morgan's shoulders tense. She hears it too. Feels it. It's in the walls. The floor. Our bones. She grips the dial. Turns it slowly. The hum shifts. Becomes something else. Footsteps. Distant. Echoing through the static. Getting closer. Morgan swallows. Keeps turning. The footsteps fade. Replaced by breathing. Not hers. Not mine. Something else. Right behind us. Morgan doesn't turn. Neither do I. The signal grows stronger. More defined. Morgan's grip tightens. Her voice is quiet. What is this? The radio crackles. The first frequency. I shiver. Morgan exhales. The first? A pause. Then, before voices. Before language. Before names. The hum deepens. I can feel it pressing against my skull. Morgan swallows. She adjusts the dial again. More sound. Not just one signal now. Many. Layered. Interwoven. A chorus of something beneath reality. Beneath us. Morgan's voice is barely a whisper. What are we listening to? The radios shift. The room pulses. And the voice finally answers. The sound of everything ending. Silence. Morgan sits perfectly still. Her fingers hover over the dial. Her breathing is slow. Careful. Like she's trying not to disturb something. The walls press in. Not physically, but in a way that feels real. Like the space around us is tightening. Like the signal is reaching for us. Morgan swallows. Then, she turns the radio off. The hum doesn't stop. The radios still vibrate, still pulse. But the voice, gone. Morgan exhales. She stands, turns to me, doesn't speak, but her expression says it all. We need to leave. Now. The door is gone. Not locked. Not blocked. Just gone. Only walls remain. Sealed. Like we were never meant to leave. The radios flicker. A low hum beneath them. Morgan clenches her jaw. She steps toward the wall. Runs a hand along it. Cold. Solid. Unmoving. Then, the voice returns. You were never supposed to hear this. Morgan tenses. She doesn't respond. The radios click again. New frequencies. New sounds. Footsteps. Breathing. Static. And then, a single voice. Morgan. She stiffens. Doesn't move. The voice repeats. Morgan, can you hear me? I know that voice. She knows that voice. Her own. The radio crackles. Where are you? Morgan exhales. Steps back. I do too. Because I know. I know what comes next. And this time, there's nowhere left to go. Nowhere left to run. Morgan. The voice drifts from the radio. It's hers. Not a recording. Not an imitation. It speaks with her breath. Her rhythm. Where are you? Morgan's face is pale. Her fingers twitch. I step closer. Whisper, don't answer. She doesn't. The walls press in. Not physically, but in a way that feels real. Like the space around us is shrinking. The radio flickers. The signal changes. A new voice. Mine. Can you hear me? Morgan's breathing is tight, controlled. She looks at me, then back at the radio. Her own voice speaks again. Morgan, don't you remember? Something shifts behind the walls. Something listening. Morgan swallows. Then, she reaches for the dial. The room vibrates. The radios click, shifting through frequencies. Static. Voices. Footsteps. The sound of breathing. A chorus of something deep beneath the world. The first frequency. Morgan hesitates. I don't blame her. Because I understand now. We were never meant to be here. Never meant to hear this. The tower. The signal. It isn't a warning. It's a door. And we've already stepped through. The voices merge. Not hers. Not mine. Something else. Something without shape. Without time. It speaks through every radio at once. You have come too far. Morgan clenches her jaw. Her hand tightens around the dial. The walls pulse. The room breathes. You were not supposed to listen. The frequency shifts. The air thickens. A sound pulses beneath our ribs. Like something pushing through. Trying to replace us. I exhale. Morgan grips the radio. Speaks. Then tell us what we were supposed to do. Silence. The radios pause. Then, the walls split. Not cracks. Not breaking. They peel back. Like skin. Like something shedding itself. Beyond them, not darkness. Not light. Something else. Moving. Shifting. Like watching radio static take shape. The signal isn't just a sound. It's alive. And it's been waiting. Morgan doesn't flinch. Neither do I. There's no point. We're past that now. The radios crackle. The voice, the thing behind it, speaks again. You must finish the transmission. Morgan hesitates. Then, she understands. She sits back down, grips the microphone. She breathes in, then speaks. This is Morgan Graves. Final transmission. The radios pulse. The signal warps. Something unseen shifts. Morgan exhales. Keeps going. The broadcast started days ago. Maybe longer. Maybe it's always been here. The words spill out slow, careful. Like she's translating something she already knows. The voices were never calling us. They were waiting for us to call back. The walls tremble. The space beyond them twists. Morgan grips the mic tighter. It's not a warning. It's an invitation. To listen. To let it in. The static swells. The signal deepens. I feel it press against my skull. Morgan's voice lowers. I think we already did. The walls close. The radios flicker. The frequency shifts. And then, nothing. We wake in the city. No tower. No radios. No signal. Just empty streets. Silent buildings. Morgan sits beside me. She stares ahead, unblinking. The hum is still in my bones. In hers too. We don't speak. There's nothing left to say. Because we understand now. The message isn't over. It never was. The broadcast doesn't end. Not really. It just changes. Somewhere, a radio turns on. A dial flickers. A voice crackles through. A name is spoken. Not mine. Not Morgan's. Someone new. Someone listening. And this time, they'll answer. End of transmission.